of the year?
Um, I, I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious.
Caitlin Clark's recent recognition as Time magazine's Athlete of the Year has stirred up plenty of reactions, but perhaps none more interesting than the comments from Sheryl Swoops, the WNBA legend whose critiques of Clark have been noticeable in the media. While many are celebrating Clark's meteoric rise in women's basketball, Swoop's stance remains skeptical, even dismissive, of Clark's dominance. However, the tension reached a boiling point when Amber Cox, the general manager of the Indiana Fever, confronted these criticisms head-on, making it clear that she was not going to allow anyone to downplay Clark's undeniable impact on the sport. The award itself is a testament to Clark's impressive trajectory, but it has become a battleground between old and new school thinking in the world of women's basketball. Some view Caitlin Clark's accolades as a sign of the future, while others, like Swoops, seem to view her rise as a threat to the established order. It's no surprise that Caitlin Clark is the latest recipient of Time's Athlete of the Year award. The magnitude of her accomplishments on the court is hard to ignore. She's been a revolutionary force in the world of women's basketball, from shattering records in college to becoming an instant superstar in the WNBA. Clark's impact extends beyond the stats. She brings a level of excitement to the game that attracts not only die-hard fans, but also new viewers who might have never watched a women's basketball game otherwise. Swoops, however, has been critical of Clark's success, offering up some sharp and contentious comments over time. From dismissing Clark's achievements in college as overhyped to attributing her success to her age and skin color, Swoops has often been on the defensive. Her critiques of Clark didn't end with her college accomplishments. When Clark entered the WNBA, Swoops continued to downplay her impact, focusing on things like the number of fans who show up for games or the supposed tension in the Fever's locker room. However, it wasn't long before Amber Cox, the Indiana Fever's GM, stepped in. Cox has been an outspoken supporter of Clark, seeing her not only as a player who elevates the Fever, but also as a major contributor to the entire league's growth. Cox made it clear that she wasn't going to let Sheryl Swoops' critiques gain traction, offering a detailed and passionate defense of Clark's importance to the WNBA. In a series of interviews, Cox called out Swoops' outdated perspective, which she felt was doing a disservice to both the player and the league. Clark's ascent has been nothing short of transformative. For years, the WNBA has struggled to gain the kind of attention and respect that its athletes deserve. But with Clark's arrival, there's been a noticeable shift. She's a game changer, not just in terms of her performance on the court, but in how she has brought attention to women's basketball. Arena attendance is up, viewership has surged, and new fans are flocking to watch her play. This is the kind of visibility the WNBA has been striving for, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. The questions surrounding whether the award should have gone to the entire league rather than Clark specifically are understandable, but they miss the point. While the WNBA as a whole has been making strides, it's clear that Clark's influence has transcended the sport. Her ability to inspire new generations of fans, draw major sponsors, and make every game an event has been unparalleled. She hasn't just had a great year, she's redefined what's possible in women's basketball. Swoops' dismissals of Clark's achievements seem to stem from a place of defensiveness, particularly regarding the changing landscape of the WNBA. Swoops, who made her name in the league with her leadership and success, might feel as if the rise of Clark, combined with the media attention she's receiving, threatens the legacy of players like herself. This generational shift in basketball has clearly become a point of contention. While some might view Clark's success as an indictment of the past, Amber Cox sees it differently. For Cox, it's not about replacing anyone, it's about building on the foundation laid by pioneers like Swoops and creating a brighter future for women's basketball. Amber Cox's response to the situation has been one of grace and leadership. She understands the importance of Clark to the Fever and the league, and she's not afraid to defend her against unfair criticism. In a remarkable interview with Christina Williams on In Case You Missed It, Cox made it clear that Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a movement. The attention Clark brings to the WNBA is invaluable, but so is her ability to unite her teammates and elevate the level of competition. Swoops had suggested that Clark's rise was causing division within the Fever locker room, particularly when it came to her relationship with Kelsey Mitchell. However, Cox quickly shot down that narrative, emphasizing the strong chemistry between the two players. Mitchell and Clark have formed a dynamic duo that is already shaping up to be one of the most potent backcourts in the league. Swoop's attempt to create drama within the Fever organization was quickly debunked, as Cox pointed to the positive relationships between Clark and her teammates. If there was any tension, it was certainly well hidden, as the Fever players have continually celebrated Clark's success and contributions to the team. But the debate doesn't end with locker room dynamics. Cox also addressed some of the larger criticisms aimed at Clark's success, especially those questioning her impact on the league as a whole. The rise of Clark isn't just a feel-good story, it's a tangible shift in the WNBA's fortunes. Games featuring Clark have seen an impressive 35% boost in viewership, and her marketability has attracted major sponsorships from Nike and Gatorade. Clark isn't just another player, she's a brand, and her success has opened doors for everyone in the league. The key to understanding the current landscape of the WNBA is recognizing the seismic shift that's taking place. This isn't just about one player dominating the game, it's about the league finally finding its moment in the sun. Amber Cox and others like her see Caitlin Clark as the catalyst for this change, the player who will push the WNBA into a new era of popularity and recognition. For the first time in years, the WNBA has a player who transcends the sport, someone whose success has global ramifications. While some are still holding on to outdated perspectives and holding out for the status quo, Amber Cox is already building the future. The Indiana Fever's offseason strategy has been focused on flexibility and positioning themselves to make a serious run at top-tier free agents. Cox's decision to leave certain players unprotected during the 2024 expansion draft has been met with criticism, but Cox sees the bigger picture. By freeing up cap space and roster slots, she has given the Fever the ability to be aggressive in free agency and build a championship contending roster. One of the most talked about free agents is Sada Sabali, a player who averaged 17.9 points and 8.4 rebounds in the previous season and has the defensive versatility to guard multiple positions. Sabali would be the perfect addition to a Fever roster already featuring Clark, Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston. With this combination, the Fever would become one of the most dangerous teams in the league, and Cox's strategy of building a well-rounded, defensively sound team could change the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. But it's not just Sabali that Cox is eyeing. The Fever have also been rumored to be pursuing defensive powerhouse Gabby Williams, a player whose playmaking ability and versatility would only enhance the team's depth. With a roster full of multi-dimensional players, the Fever would be a force to be reckoned with. All of this is possible because Amber Cox has managed the Fever's finances with precision and foresight. With $650,000 in cap space heading into the 2024 offseason, Cox has positioned her team for success, while other GMs have failed to balance their rosters effectively. The Fever's financial flexibility allows them to be aggressive in free agency, making them one of the most attractive teams for top-tier talent. While the debate over Caitlin Clark's award may continue to spark discussions, there's no doubt that her presence in the WNBA has already had a transformative effect. The attention she's brought to the league, the boost in viewership, and the sponsorship deals have all played a crucial role in shaping the future of the sport. And while Sheryl Swoops may not see it, Amber Cox and others in the league recognize the importance of Clark's success. It's not just about one player, it's about the entire league moving forward, with Caitlin Clark leading the way.